I got sick.
Angela threw up.
It reminded me of the Shambles a lot.
Yeah.
But we got to see another castle, so that was something.
So it wasn't completely pitch black, but it was starting
it
out.
It never really got that dark wherever we were, it seemed.
And it was a very exciting day. Hey everyone, welcome back. We are doing another recap of day 13. In case you're wondering about the background, we are back home in the States. This is a week after our trip almost already, or not quite.
We're a little behind.
We didn't get around to filming all of these in England, so we are having to recap them here. And we just wanted to be outside for a little change of scenery. So this is our backyard, or part of it. Before we end the video, please like, share, subscribe if you are following along and like these. And we're just going to get straight into it. So day 13.
Start off, we're at a Hilton hotel.
Yep.
And it had a continental breakfast, but it was more than just that. We got down there and they had like a full buffet. It was like a full buffet for a full English breakfast.
Yeah,
they had the sausages, the beans, the mushrooms, the tomatoes, I think, the hash browns.
The black pudding, I believe.
Yeah.
So which was really interesting to see. I didn't end up eating because I wasn't hungry.
I ate a bunch because it looked so good, and it was.
I think actually I did take a bite. I ate some hash browns, but
yeah.
I wasn't super hungry, so I ate very little. But it was just very interesting to see.
Plus, it was really early in the morning. It was like 7 or earlier.
It was just really interesting to see all the like iconic British breakfast just all like in this big huge buffet. Like our buffet would be like pancakes and waffles and sausage, bacon, biscuits and gravy, eggs, hash browns. But your guys' was like
the beans
toast,
the mushrooms.
Black
apparently
pudding,
the mushrooms or something.
Tomatoes.
Which I didn't have any that time, but they are good.
Anyway, guys, so after that we had a hour drive up to
Shrewsbury. I think we keep mispronouncing it, but it's Shrewsbury.
Because we had a very exciting day ahead. We had a subscriber reach out to us named Emily before the trip, offering to give us a free plane ride over the
Snowdonian Mountains.
Over Snowdonia and part of the ocean. And so of course we took her up on that because it's such an amazing offer. So we had to get to the airport,
which was like all back roads.
Yes, it was very country.
Very country. A lot of those one lane looking type roads where you have to like stop, back up, pull over to let other cars pass if you're in a bad zone.
We took one of the wrong turns and ended up like on even tighter roads, but it was really close to the airport, so it was like within 2 or 3 miles, so it wasn't that big of a detour. But yeah,
but it's like out in the middle of a field, so it was really hard to find. There's a couple signs, but they were kind of hard to read, so we still had issues getting there. Plus we were kind of early, so we couldn't contact her right away because she was flying at the time.
Yeah, so we got to the airport. We had to wait about 20 minutes, and then we see her fly down. Like we see the plane, but she had like a bunch of paperwork or like pilot stuff to do. So we just kind of sat there awkwardly, like we saw each other, but like we didn't meet each other or anything or introduce ourselves.
He was so nervous and so awkward. I just
didn't know what to say.
I just enjoyed the airport.
I didn't know what to do or say. So anyway, she came over, we met, we talked about it a little bit, she talked us over it, we went and saw the plane, got onto it pretty fast after, you know, like.
Although I will say, first initially, looking at the plane, it looked really small, but it was actually quite cozy in it. And we'll go into more detail with its own video, because we got a lot of footage from that, and the whole experiences we went through with that, so
make sure to definitely go check out the plane video, because that will be its own separate thing.
Yeah.
And obviously we'll have Emily in it, so definitely go check it out.
I will mention though, I didn't get to enjoy it as much as I hoped I could because I got sick.
Angela threw up, so we'll have to get back.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, so you ate this big English breakfast.
That was so good. I hated that I ended up wasting it.
So anyway, after the plane got somewhat awkward because of what happened, and we had to have like a not emergency, but like a quick landing.
Unscheduled landing.
Unscheduled landing at a different airport. We made it back to the original airport, dropped off the plane, and then Emily just suggested that she show us the town Shrewsbury, or Shrewsbury.
Yeah, that's the local town where the airport was.
Yep. So she took us back there. We drove there and we parked the car, and then she took us and just like walked around and started showing us all like the main things to do in Shrewsbury.
Oh, that is kind of cool, that teal color.
Yeah.
Yeah, this used to be all boys Shrewsbury School.
Oh, is this the library?
Yeah, this one. Castle Gates Library.
1552.
Old. Everything's old.
They are closed on Sunday. Circular
Coliseum.
That's famous somehow.
I mean, it's no Big Ben, but Which I will say, it kind of reminded me of York. A lot of the buildings and architecture remind me a lot of that. They even had some like narrow alleyways, I guess, that were kind of... Really, it reminded me of the Shambles a lot. Yeah. So it was really kind of cool walking, except there was a lot more hills. York was more flat, but this Shrewsbury was a lot hillier.
So we didn't get there until semi-late. I think it was like 3 or so, 3:30.
Yeah, the whole plane ride and all that stuff took a while.
So by the time we go around walking, she takes us to this castle, but they close like in 20 minutes. Yeah. So we didn't bother buying tickets to go in. I'm not for sure of the castle, but one thing that really stuck out to me on the castle was it was like made of red. Yeah, like red brick. Not really red brick, it's like red stone.
Was it? Maybe, yeah.
Because the stones were still big.
Yeah.
The castle is open.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, I'd love to live in a castle. Of course, wouldn't we all? What'd you find?
That's like old catapult. Oh, that's like old crossbow thing.
It was really cool, but it had a lookout point.
That's like the new. Ugly council looking building next to it, that's it.
Oh, I see, okay, that's more modern looking.
So anyway, that was really very just different. Considering all the other buildings we saw, it was kind of set apart.
But we got to see another castle, so that was something.
So that was in there, and then they had a really nice park. And then they had
huge park. Apparently, they have huge events there. Yeah. Which is pretty crazy.
Like the town was really, like, we were only there for a few hours, but it was really an interesting town. Yeah. They had some really cool bridges. They had some very interesting statues.
I think they had some famous museums or something. Something famous and old.
Obviously they had...
like everything in England.
Obviously they had like some cathedrals, and I don't think they had a minster. Maybe they did.
I think they had a minster, but they didn't qualify as a city because they had less than 100,000 people. Yeah. So they didn't make city status because I think it's like only 70,000, which is still a good sized town. I would consider it a city, but
it seemed like a very hustle and bustle.
Yeah, it was a very young town because there's also a college there.
Yeah. So apparently it is, I think, a younger... I don't know, I guess there's like a nightlife there. Yeah. I'm not for sure. Because we didn't stay that night. Yeah. So anyway, after Emily showed us around, we went to a American style
restaurant.
I forget the name of the place.
She suggested it. She knew the place and she liked the food, and so she suggested it. I'm like, okay, why not see what their take on American food was.
So yeah, we went there. I had a burger and you had...
I just had macaroni because it looked really good. Oh, that's
right. So anyway, I feel like this is like what a British restaurant would be over here. Like, it was definitely not authentic. No. Like, it said American, and they tried to do it very American.
They even had barbecue sauce, but it was
the barbecue sauce is not very good.
No.
Like, I'm sorry, like, you guys, like, the British barbecue sauce is not good. No. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
and you didn't have ranch. That's like a staple to American culture. Is true Hidden Valley Ranch or something to that equivalent.
And didn't have Mountain Dew. Now, I like didn't drink a whole bunch of soda. I think I only had one soda on the whole trip. Yeah. But I wanted to ask. I was like, "Do you have Mountain Dew?" And they didn't have Mountain Dew, and that's a staple at.
Well, at least for you.
Well, no, that's like a staple. Like any
restaurant.
Almost any restaurant you go to, they carry Pepsi products and they have Mountain Dew.
Yes, it's either Pepsi or Coke products. Because Coke won't carry Mountain Dew because they're rivals. Whatever.
So anyway, I definitely would say it wasn't bad food, but it was definitely not American. No. The portions were big, but I mean, I didn't notice a huge difference between American and British portions.
Yeah, we've mentioned that before. We still haven't noticed that much of a difference.
I think I noticed it a little bit in the fries at McDonald's and like the soda, the drink size I could tell.
Maybe, yeah.
But the actual
I think that's better. You don't need that much soda.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So anyway, guys, we had a good time there. We didn't film it or anything. It was just my brother and us and her, and we were just like visiting and talking and chatting and just
making up for the awkwardness of the plane ride.
Yeah, that too. So anyway, yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah. The food was okay. I definitely think it was overpriced. It was one of the more expensive meals that we had in. So I was like, ugh.
But the portions were decent, and we had a really good time. It was a fun restaurant.
No, it was a lot of fun. They definitely went like kind of very roadhouse, like a steakhouse theme. Yeah. Like there was like the waitresses and stuff were like denim and flannel, and there were some cowboy hats and country music. So it was definitely trying to be American.
But there was a piano like up on top of a ledge for some reason. That wasn't country at all, but it was kind of interesting.
So anyway, after we dropped Emily off, we had a 2.5-hour drive
to Oxford.
We had to get all the way to Oxford for the next day. So actually by that time, I think I drove about like as it is about this dark right now.
Yeah.
About what we had to drive. So it wasn't completely pitch black, but it was starting
it
down
never
that
really
verge.
got that dark wherever we were, it seemed.
Like we really didn't do anything. I think we
were just wiped because at that point you had driven a couple hundred miles and for probably 6-7 hours, and so we were all exhausted.
Yeah, so I think we pretty much just got straight there, checked in, brought our bags up. It was like 11 o'clock and we just went straight to bed. We knew we had to wake up early for the next day because we had some exciting stuff planned for that.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. And other than that, I'm trying to think. That pretty much wraps up day 13 though.
And it wraps up our day as well because it's getting darker as we speak.
Well, we went from Stoke-on-Trent to Shrewsbury all the way to Oxford. We went on a small plane and went over the Snowdonia Mountains and part of the ocean, and it was a very exciting day.
Amazing.
And we also walked around Shrewsbury, which was, it seemed like a very interesting town, and it would be fun to like go back and actually see the highlights of it.
Yeah.
So anyway guys, that was the recap for day 13, and thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know what you thought down below. Definitely go check out the plane video, and that's all we have. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you guys on the next one.